What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Monday Night Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Vince Russo back in WWE, WWE's odd reaction to Bryan Danielson and Adam Cole in AEW, The Undertaker gets his own Netflix movie, WWE's given up on Jeff Hardy, AEW not allowed to use the Yes movement, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. As always, we aren't recapping the matches, but just providing you with the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, the chemistry of RK Bro. Now, RK Bro continues to provide good matches in the ring and arguably even more entertainment from the chemistry between Riddle and Randy Orton. This was evident by this week from this interaction between MVP and RK Bro. MVP said, "Riddle, shut your ass up," to which Orton replied, "Hey, only I can say that." The WWE has found an unlikely team with Riddle and Orton, and every week they're simply fantastic. A reminder of the oddest pairings can sometimes gel into something magical. Number 2, Tag Team Turmoil theme. Raw is known for its meandering shows where wrestlers are thrown into meaningless matches and storylines are often absent. But not so last night, as Raw used the Tag Team Turmoil tournament to provide a theme throughout the show. Not only that, but it did finally put the spotlight on the WWE's tag team division, with 8 teams competing for a shot at RK Bro. One question to ask is, what led the WWE to go all in on tag teams? Not only did Raw spotlight the men's division, it managed to squeeze in a women's tag match. Have the WWE noticed the popularity of RK Bro, or is it simply a promotion looking at the success of all-out steel cage tag team match? Whatever the reason, it made for a fun show. Number 3, New Day's NWO cosplay. While the New Day didn't win the Tag Team Turmoil tournament, they did look too sweet with their NWO cosplay. A rumor has it that Kofi Kingston was supposed to join Xavier Woods at SummerSlam when Woods dressed as Razor Ramon, so it was good to see him get his chance last night. Number 4, Bliss vs Flair, kinda looking good. Bliss vs Charlotte is looking like it could be a good match with an even better storyline driving it. Fans know Bliss will play mind games with Charlotte, but will the Queen manage to ignore them or show that no one is safe from Bliss's dark dealings? This could be Bliss's last chance to show that she's more than a Fiend ripoff, and if anything else, it at least appears to have removed Nia Jax as a contender for Flair's title. And Omos is awesome. Is Omos a 5-star performer? Well, no, but the big man has shown remarkable improvement since his main roster debut, and the WWE deserves considerable credit for taking the time in his booking. As we've noted before, the WWE wisely paired him up with AJ Styles in a tag team and put the two against some opponents who can work with anyone. They protected Omos and teased that he may be unstoppable, as his interaction with WWE Champion Lashley was perfectly plotted, as it hinted at a future confrontation without predicting the outcome. That was the good. What about the bad? Is number 1, Jeff's quest for Fool's Gold. Now, as much as we enjoyed the 24/7 championship, well, sometimes, it's downright depressing to see Jeff Hardy chasing for the belt. Anyone who wants to see where a wrestler fits into the WWE hierarchy need look no further than the mob of superstars chasing for that title. Using that criteria, Jeff is ranked down with Cedric Alexander, Humberto Carrillo, and a veritable who's that of the Red brand. While every wrestler should have a place in WWE, Jeff's place does not belong in the 24/7 championship running. Number 2, a troubled tag team situation. The Nikki Ash-Rhea Ripley tag team has been a pleasant surprise. How in the blue hell did they earn a title shot against women's tag team champions Natalya and Tamina when Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Nox have 3 wins over the champions? Now, but perhaps we should be happy that the WWE is giving some thought to its women's tag team division after months of neglect. But if it wants to spotlight it, why not go all the way and create a logical structure when it comes to how tag team title matches are earned? Even a throwaway line of dialogue could explain Natty and Tamina defending against Cross and Ripley because they're dodging their blue brand challenges. Number 3, the Karrion Kross crisis. The curious case of Karrion Kross continues to baffle fans of the 2-time NXT champion, as Kross's Raw run has been a complete disaster. Vince McMahon supporters might argue that Kross has his own special outfit and a series of wins, but the reality is that he has 0 direction. Fans familiar with the WWE's booking style knows that Kross can get wins for the next 6 months, yet have nothing to show whether it's a championship or significant storyline. Unless Kross gets one or both of these, he's nothing more than a guy filling time on the Red brand in a goofy suit. And Morrison's 1-week push. Did the WWE just stop John Morrison's push? It sure looks like any push Johnny Drip Drip had is over, as he became Karrion Kross's latest victim. Then again, with the WWE changing things from week to week, Morrison could bounce back the next week and get back into the groove. However, his recent run with the Miz suggests that WWE has no plans on pushing him and that he'll likely serve as comedic relief while putting on good matches whenever he steps into the ring for his latest loss. Now, there was nothing ugly about last night's show. The WWE went from the theme of 8 teams competing for a title shot against RK Bro and also managed to further the storyline's fueling matches at Extreme Rules. Last night's Raw wasn't fantastic by any means, but it showed some planning and commitment to airing 3 compelling hours of television. Whether or not fans found all 3 hours compelling is a question for the ratings and online comments. But what do you guys think of Raw? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at is Vince Russo working for the WWE? Atop in the news today is a story that seems more appropriate for April Fool's Day, but if true, would affirm the saying never say never when it comes to pro wrestling. Now, make sure you're sitting down when you watch this, as a rumor is flying around that Vince Russo has lobbied to get back into the WWE. Ringside News' Steve Carrier recently tweeted, "Who wants Vince Russo back in WWE?" Apparently he does, despite him saying he's not looking for a job. We're told Russo called both Fox and USA networks in the past year, trying to get him to hire him as a consultant or discuss with McMahon the possibility of bringing him back. Now, fueling the rumors is a recent tweet from the former WCW champion, where he tweeted his recent work with the WWE. Worked with the WWE this past Friday on a project I think for Peacock. Pleasurable experience, all involved were pros and respectable. I really do hope those who need to see my comments see them. While I don't want a job, I'm always looking to help the biz in any way I can. Now, whether you love Russo's work or hate it, it seems clear that while Russo may have tried to get back in the WWE, he didn't succeed, and his self-reported involvement with Peacock has nothing to do with him returning to Titan Towers. But that being said, it sounds like wrestling's original bro would love to get back into the business. Next up, WWE's strange reaction to losing Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole. Now, their debuts at AEW All Out has the wrestling world talking, but how does the WWE feel about the two leaving Titanland for All Elite Wrestling? Well, Ringside News is reporting that we asked around about the internal reaction within WWE regarding losing Danielson and Cole to All Elite Wrestling. A tenured member of the creative team confirmed to us that no one here views it as a big loss. Whether that's right or wrong, that's the mentality. Now let's assume the people Ringside News spoke with were being honest. If so, that is a fascinating posture to take. It's just how clueless the WWE is when it comes to who the fans' favourites are and who the WWE perceives as getting over with the fans. So far, the wrestling world is brimming with excitement at signings, which suggests Bryan and Adam's signings were a good move. On the other hand, it's possible that the WWE is in fact worried about the signings and that they've told their staff not to show any sign of disappointment over the 2 stars signing with AEW. With the WWE continuing to cut its staff, it's doubtful any employee wants to lose their jobs by speaking with a dirt sheet or news sites. Next up, The Undertaker gets his own Netflix movie. Now, this is something that nobody expected, as it's now been announced that a brand new interactive Halloween movie starring The Undertaker and The New Day will be coming to Netflix in October. According to Bloody Disgusting, the movie titled Escape the Undertaker has set a trap for the decorated tag team The New Day at his mansion. But what they don't know, The Undertaker's mansion is an extreme haunted house packed to the brim with supernatural challenges. It's up to the viewers to decide the fate of these 3 poor souls trying to survive the wrath of The Undertaker. Genuinely something I never expected. Could this mean that The Undertaker's rumoured return on SmackDown could be true? Next up, has the WWE given up on Jeff Hardy? Jeff Hardy's role in the 24/7 championship picture has fans of wrestling's charismatic enigma wondering whether the WWE has given up on him. Not only that, but the pundits such as Wrestling News' Paul Davis are asking whether Jackson Riker's spot in the 24/7 hunt means his push is over. Right now it looks like both men are at the bottom of the WWE food chain, which has to have their fans wondering if they're one step away from being future endeavoured. And finally, AEW not allowed to use the Yes movement? And last but not least, is the WWE going to say no to Bryan Danielson's Yes movement? Of course, the fans were thrilled to see Bryan Danielson when he debuted at All Out, with the fans chanting yes, yes, yes. However, does the Yes movement belong to the WWE as part of its intellectual property? Danielson discussed this during the post-game media scrum, noting, "I mean, it was awesome. I don't know, we're going to have to talk about what I can do and not do. One of the things I try to respect because, like I said, I appreciate the people I worked for before and respect their intellectual property and that sort of thing, so I'm making sure I don't contradict any of that. Intellectual property is a tricky thing, and right now there are questions whether AEW can use the Yes movement. You can be certain that WWE will nix any plans to incorporate the Yes movement into Bryan's act if it is indeed their intellectual property. Danielson acknowledged this and said, "The fans doing it is great, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it. Do you think AEW will ever be able to use the yes movement? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content."